Even better, you got to be in the room while we win our tokamak reactor.
Oh yeah,
into a mini celebration. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Congrats, Fox fam. We just got ourselves a tokamak reactor.
Did we end number one?
We ended number one by about almost 1 million votes.
Congratulations, everyone. What a
Man.
surprise to see happen in the last 24 to 48 hours.
It was fun to watch. That was intense.
All right. I didn't see that there's a Zoom link already there. Let me hop in there and share my screen. Can everyone see my screen? Sweet. If you're just joining us now, welcome to Unsolved User Problems. This happens every week. It didn't happen last week due to unforeseen circumstances of Fox's being out of the office. So we have a little bit of catch up to do from last week. This is where we go over all user problems that are inside prod that have gone through our triage process, and we discuss troubleshooting steps or next steps or where we are with any of those things. We've got Fox from product, myself, the rest of the operations team, and usually some more product people, some engineers show up. And Lich, do you want to hop up on stage too? I know I've been trying to get you a little more active in this call. I invite you to speak. Cool. And I was out last week, so I don't know if Lich, you or Fox want to be the ones to start us off with where we left off from last week and where we want to get to today.
Excuse me. Sure. Yeah, I mean, as kind of as is tradition, I'd say let's just start with some of these bold guys and just kind of work our way down or up, either way. We can start there at the top. No spendable UTXO found. Let me pull up that thread. Oh, this is with the address type. Is this still an issue? It looks like we couldn't recreate it. It looks like Lich and Ron both were able to send just fine.
Is this the different Bitcoin format address type, or is this
Yes.
different? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if we were able to recreate, and I think the root of the issue is that Bitcoin address format, I don't know if we can properly send to or not, but I'm not sure how to generate that specific type of address.
We should be able to send to any type of address.
Should we?
I believe so. It's more about whether or not, you can only receive to the address formats that you have. But I believe it should be able to send now to any Bitcoin outside, maybe not Taproot yet. I don't think we haven't done the work to upgrade to that.
Sure.
Which Taproot does start with BC1 still. I forget what the next letter is. I wonder, this popped up before Taproot though, correct?
Yeah. Well, okay. Looks like we just need to do some more recreations on this then to fully discover and maybe see if we can generate some of those Taproot addresses to send to.
Agreed. Cool. Next one down, web created account unable to log into mobile. So if you remember this one from a few months ago, this was an attack vector that someone was trying to take advantage of. So we turned it off. What we're going to do is Diggy and Beard, I believe, or UX UI are going to be adding some copy to the web, pretty much saying to create your account in mobile. Or did we? Actually, now I think I might be misremembering. And Diggy, feel free to jump up here. I think we actually said we were going to turn that flow back on. Correct me if I'm wrong.
So Josh is planning to sync up with Reed on that, but obviously it's not a priority yet for him at this very moment to get that flow turned back on. In the meantime, yeah, we have a task for Beard to kind of just basically go in and direct users to mobile on sign up.
Perfect. And obviously, again, with V2 being a priority, that is taking engineering effort. And eventually this will be ripped out once we get rid of OAuth. So short-term issue. You can still use your account login on web. And if you want to access mobile and you've already created an account on web, you're going to have to just create a new account with a new email for the time being. LP on staking removal slider. That is when you're trying to, just what it says, remove your LP tokens. The slider, I think, gets stuck on 25%. That is in progress right now, probably to be released by end of week, if not sooner. But yeah, that one's moving. Crypto price on other currencies are not updated on the web beta. Is this that same one where it's just because we have the same ticker representing two different tokens? If I recall, is that the
No, this is a misnomer. Currencies is supposed to mean fiat currencies in this ticket. So this is one that all of our price is displaying in USD and not the different pounds or those style of things. If you go and look at the individual charts.
I recall that one. That is supposedly in acceptance testing. There's a lot in acceptance testing. I'll bring this up tomorrow, why this hasn't been merged.
Are we on a code freeze for anything that's not related to V2?
I don't believe so.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, I have a stand up with the bug team tomorrow morning. I'll bring up why that's still sitting in acceptance testing and why that hasn't been merged yet, but that is done.
Sweet.
Thorchain, we're not doing anything on Thorchain until it restarts, which their devs say should be 2 to 3 days from now. They just implemented a fix where I think everyone's rolling back one block and resyncing because there was some consensus issues. Seems like it was a pretty good thought experiment for the dev team, and they've talked about soft forking and the ability to do that for network health, and it looks like they're going to start doing that in practice. And so luckily it was a pretty small bug in comparison to some of the other large ones. No funds were at risk. There was no exploit. They found it themselves when a node operator was trying to leave while still having assets staked or something along those lines. So we'll be able to work more on that once Thorchain's back online.
Nice. There was a new ticket that came in very recently, I think this morning, that also has to do with a Litecoin to Bitcoin. But I'm not sure if that was an issue that happened while we still had Thor up before it went down, or if we accidentally left Thor on mobile. I'm not sure if that's...
It was just a failed trade?
A failed trade of Litecoin to Bitcoin with an OP return message on the chain.
And did they get the return?
No.
Okay. Let's follow up with that one once the chain gets turned back on. There's a chance, I guess, the return process is after it gets turned back on. That might have just been really bad timing that they were trying to do it.
Their fees might be eaten by gas as well. So
that's also a possibility. If they didn't do enough transaction size where the fee gets eaten, always a possibility.
A question about that. Do we have, I was trying to ask this in prod issues, and I'm not sure, someone might have responded, but do we have a date of when that Thorchain issue actually started and would have impacted trades?
I'm sure we can find it somewhere. It's been a few days. I'd probably say like the 11th, maybe. I can search their Discord and see when the first.
Yeah, because we had a couple customer issues with some Thorchain trades, and I wasn't sure if it was just a customer error or if their trade failed because of that chain issue.
There definitely was a window of Thor being down and us still having 4 trades up. So if they were inside that window, that definitely could have been on us.
Yeah. So it looks
but
like
would they have still been charged like the fees and all of that, even if Thorchain was down? Wouldn't it just kind of not work?
Yeah, I think they'd just lose their funds.
Oh, shit. Okay.
It looks like they turned off the Bifrost on 11/13, and I believe there was, I think maybe 11. I think I'm not sure when we turned it off.
It's in prod issues.
Okay.
We turned it off on the 12th, but Perklin alluded to the fact that it had been going on for a day or so.
Yeah, I recall it happening initially on the 11th.
How many users do you have that are in this situation?
I have 2, so I'm just trying to resolve these 2 user issues that happened on the 10th. So I'm not sure, because it's just like kind of too close to call. I'm trying to figure out, did everything go down at that time?
I do know we also have some issues and bugs that need to be tracked again around us allowing below the minimums on trades without an error message popping up. So depending on the details of those individual tickets, it might be user error. User error plus our bad UX.
Feel free to share those TX IDs with me, Meg, if you want, and I can take a look at some.
Yeah, I will. I know one of them was like a couple $1,000s worth of trading or whatever, and it failed. And of course, they lost their fees out of that, which was quite high, as you can imagine, even compared to a $2,000, $3,000 trade. But I guess my question, and maybe this is something more for the governance call and the new Treasury Committee, we're going to have this like we foxed up amount of Fox to use in situations like this, but it's just kind of like a dicey scenario where do we, compensate this user? Like, of course, it's trade at your own risk, but if it's, blatantly our system issue, like, should we fully compensate that? Like, I'm kind of not sure what to do at this point.
I know they can also reach out to Thorchain support, or maybe we can even create some. I know we've done that in the past where create a ticket on their behalf and try to fix this or resolve it between both DAOs. I know Thorchain's DAO or Thorchain's Discord has been amazingly helpful. And if it's something that's like if there's a loss of funds, that's their fault, they'll definitely cover it. I have not seen them cover gas fees and stuff like that for more. I know we could be doing more to signify that a chain's down or trading's not working. But yeah, at the end of the day, I don't know. It is the user who sent the funds. And once we reimburse one gas fee, it becomes a very slippery slope.
Yeah, I'm with Fox McCloud on this one. I think that the We Foxed Up fund is nice, but it definitely, if we're going to set the bar that we're going to refund gas fees for failed trades, that will definitely burn through that entire We Foxed Up fund real quickly, and we'll find people that are just out to make a whole bunch of failed trades to drain us of our funds. Would be my fear.
And I'm not proposing using it for all of those situations, but if in this case it was a system issue on our end that caused it to fail and ate their funds, along the way, this would be an example of.
So I don't think it was a system issue that caused it to fail. I think we just didn't turn it off on our end first, because the reason why it failed is because Thorchain was halted, where there was an issue going on with Thorchain. So at the end, it is their protocol that we're definitely plugging into and utilizing, but I don't think it was anything that we did that caused it to fail. I think we just didn't we didn't prevent the user from sending the funds when the network was halted, is what it sounds like.
Well, maybe I'll check out send even the customer over to their Discord or something like that. But yeah, it's helpful.
It might also worth it for us to revisit the copy around the trade and make sure that we've got clear communication to our users so that they know what fees they're expecting to see before they send. I know the expected gas fee, we can't actually know the gas fee and we have to give an estimated gas fee, but maybe there's a way we can highlight that or bold that, or are you sure when gas fees are, I know sometimes in MetaMask or other ones when gas fees are exponentially higher than regular times, there's a warning that pops up additionally before the confirmation. Maybe that's an avenue we should be exploring as well for these trades, especially with something that has a whole bunch of transaction fee mechanics behind it.
It's not a bad idea at all.
Maybe we should wait
Sorry, I was just going to say, Meg, I also wouldn't be against, obviously that's what the Foxed Up fund's for. If you deem it, it's a one-off and you deem that, just bad timing, we could have done more, that user could have had a better experience. And as you said, if it's a few $1,000s and it's a significant amount, then, that's, obviously totally within your discretion. If you want to toss them a few Fox, I wouldn't be against it. Cool. Moving on, but let's pretty much for all those Thorchain issues kind of kick the can down the road. We'll know more in 2 to 3 days. And if a user's just losing fees, that's one thing, but they should have their initial funds back. And if not, hopefully that returns once the chain turns back on. Unable to broadcast XRP transactions on web. I know that turned into a prod issue last night for some reason, even though I don't think Ripple should be a prod issue, especially when we're working on V2. But Major Hayes did some work on that and sent out a couple PRs, and I think that's resolved.
It's not, unfortunately. I mentioned it in stand-up this morning. We definitely need to write a full ticket for this because Kevin's saying that there's something deeper going on with Ripple specifically, and it's actually bringing down all of Watchtower. And that's what I think was the culprit behind Monero and stuff like that. I definitely am with you that some of these sidechain things shouldn't be always considered prod issues, but it is affecting users' ability to interact with their money. And as much as I hate Ripple, we still should support it.
Yeah, totally fair. Did you say a ticket needs to get written, or is he already working?
Yeah, that was I was trying to get clarity on if the work that Kevin was doing right now would fix it, and they told me that they don't think so, and that they're basically heads down on V2 for now. So if we could do a ticket like the normal process for this, they'll be able to pick it up and dive deeper after V2.
Cool. Let me make a note of that. Cool. Next up, market data display USD amounts, even though a different currency is selected. Is that web?
So this is similar to that
Chart one,
line 29, and 29 was a ticket reporting it on web, and this one is reporting it on mobile, specifically the 24-hour charts. So I definitely think we need to do a little more discovery on if there are two separate issues here, or if this is one issue across both mobile and web. But I wrote some notes down in the thread on the most recent one that was entered.
Cool. And then the time token. Yeah, there are 2 tokens with the ticker time. We're displaying, I don't know if you can't really call it the wrong one, but we're displaying a different one. That I think something like that should go straight to CoinCap team, or is it being displayed on platform and CoinCap? Okay, cool. These sort of tickets just pile up so much. I wonder if we should just like create a list, and every time it like reaches like 10, we can like send it to an engineer. I hate creating all these one-off tickets for these extremely low market cap coins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I feel like there's like a solve to fix all of this that has something to do with CoinGecko or something like that. But definitely, the solve would take more time than we want to dedicate to these shitcoins right now. Currently, would be my feels.
Yeah, I agree. The ability to add like custom tokens I've brought up in the past. I think it's something we've always wanted to do for a while and just it's never been prioritized. I think that would resolve this issue as well. And people could add their own contract addresses. So if we're displaying one time and you want to look at the other time, you just copy and paste the time you want contract address. Yeah, I'd say let's leave this off for now, at least until the end of V2, and let's kind of problem solve and noodle on a better long-term solution. Because yeah, these are coming in once a week, once every other week, and it's definitely just the context switching alone and having to create a ticket and pull a dev to fix that is a pain in the butt.
Totally agree.
Cool.
I do have one I wanted to bring up that I've been chatting with Meg about this week. That is a super old one, but I gotta mention it. Invalid big number string is now crossing over 70 affected users.
Yes. We have a solution. We figured it out this morning.
What?
It is awesome. It just needs to be built into a PR and released. So I know kind of same thing. Sound like a broken record. Devs are busy with some V2 stuff, but hopefully that should be out ASAP. I don't want to put a date on it, but ASAP. It is resolved. It just now needs to be PR'd and released.
Nice. Who was the person who discovered that?
It was Nanik, who's one of our gorillas, pairing with I think Adam was able to look in on the back end, but I could be wrong on that.
Nice. Well, big props to Nanik and Adam. That's been one of the biggest, nastiest bugs we've had in a long time.
Yeah, that being said, that shouldn't have been around for that long. So apologies to anyone on the call who experienced that bug. Thanks for your patience. And yeah, resolution should be coming very soon.
Sweet. Normally we open this space up to any other lingering issues from previous reports. So if there's anyone that's listening in the chat and would like to ask some questions on bugs you may have reported previously, we can definitely poke at those. Or if people have issues they're experiencing, this is a great time to type in there or raise your hand and we can bring you on stage. Mogi asked which bug was that? This was invalid big number string. So it was one that I think was relegated just to native, but when they were trying to send transactions out, no matter how they built the transaction, no matter what address they chose, no matter the amount of funds they were trying to send, they would get this really big, ugly error that just said invalid big number string and a whole bunch of alphanumeric hash stuff. Our only solve before this was to tell people to leave ShapeShift and to import their private seed to another place to go do that. So it's really, really, really nice to not have to send people outside of our ecosystem for that bug.
Yes, agreed. Cool. Lich, do you want to scroll up and just see if there's any lingering, or Tyler, who's ever controlling? I apologize. So yeah, there's that big number. Do you want to actually, should we start a list and we can pull kind of line 5 and line 21 and that time one kind of, we can just
make a new tab.
Yeah, make a new tab and keep track of all these.
For sure. I'm not going to do it while I'm screen sharing, but if someone else wants to, or else I can grab it afterwards.
Cool.
Sweet.
Awesome. Anything else we want to discuss today, or do we just want to keep talking about how awesome our tokamak reactor is? Seeing Fox, the only green coin for the past 24 hours, is pretty darn exciting as well. Been a
on Workstream Payday 2 was a nice little bump. Happy about everything. Couldn't complain. I don't know. Maybe we could also bring up Ron or Neverwas if you guys have anything to add from your training and experience you've had in here. Any color things we can talk about in the process. Happy to talk more about what it is we do here always, and let people in on our processes, and maybe even find some ways to do them better than we did previously.
And if not, we can always wrap up a little early. As a heads up, I was talking to Tyler about this yesterday, but as I would imagine most of the community knows, V2 is right around the corner, and we're going to start doing it. Started off with a soft launch, meaning just pretty much people in this Discord in our community to be testing it, trying to break it, figuring out what things need to be improved and fixed before we release it to the mass public. I will be releasing some information on how to test, but also how to report bugs that you do come across, or just friction points or areas of confusion. It'll be submitted very similarly in a form, or in the forum, just like bugs are currently submitted, but obviously will then be split out so we can separate bugs of things that aren't live in V2 and things that are in production, but that should be coming in the coming days as well.
Yep. I think for separating those, we'd just like to have tickets that are about things in the staging environment, to have like a parentheses staging in the very first description or name of the issue. And then we can organize those and get those to the appropriate engineers once they come in through the triage process, but we'll also be able to do the same detailed steps to do that. And I also realize that there's quite a few people on the call that I've never seen in an Unsolved user problems call before, so it might be worth it to mention our process. If you do feel like you'd like to be a part of what you're listening to right now, we have this great channel called, is it Report Issues? Is that what it's called right now? It's been changed a couple of times. It's called Report Issues. It's inside the support work stream. I think you might have to go to the role selector and select support so you can see it if you don't see that in your Discord. But it is a if you go there, there's a whole bunch of troubleshooting questions that the channel asks you first before you report your issue, and those are often ways to navigate around what you might be experiencing. But if you don't, if you're still able to recreate the issue after trying all of those steps, then if this is a bug that is not just a customer support issue, something that's wrong in the code or something that looks like it needs to be fixed, we ask that you click that little emoji underneath the form box there. You'll get a DM from a bot that will ask you details about your issue you're experiencing, to go through some recreation steps and to list all of the products that it's affecting. And that helps us better diagnose and discover that from the operations team. If you guys do end up doing those things, usually there is nice tipped Fox Xbox in there for you from our team for being so helpful and helping us identify those things. So it's definitely not a work for free sort of situation. But now we're definitely going to be needing that more actively with the V2 stuff in staging and in alpha. So I'm sure we'll have detailed descriptions that Noah will write out about testing requirements and expectations. But if you guys do find those, please know that we're very happy to work with you on there and then pay you for your time and help that you've done to help us identify these issues and fix them.
Absolutely.
Sweet. Lich, Neverwas, Ron, did you guys have anything to add or any specific issues we may have hopped over we can spend a second on?
Hey, I would just say, Tyler, that I'm enjoying learning, meeting and learning the inside process for the operations team. I love getting to know the engineers more, Fox McCloud, obviously, and interactions with the support team and stuff. So I'm just looking forward to continue doing that. building that comfort level and the relationships there so that we can interact great as a whole, organization, multiple work streams, and really make this a powerful asset to help our end users and help the DAO just address things that come up and going forward. So yes, it's a process, but we're definitely learning, growing, and I'm learning just as a new member, just learning, like meeting the people that have been on the teams, the people that are actively involved, and I just appreciate that. And if anyone that's in the audience, support or anything that I haven't had interactions with yet, please don't be shy. Feel free to ping me, DM me, reach out in the channels, and I definitely look forward to just opening conversations and working together.
Yeah, totally. Thanks, ROS, for that. It's been a joy training you guys and seeing how quickly you're able to jump in and do things. Sweet.
Cool. I'm cool wrapping up for the day if you guys are.
Yeah, I am. Yay, tokamak reactor. Congratulations, Fox. Y'all a bunch of chads.
What an exciting day. Let's keep it up and have a great week, everyone.
All right, yeah. We'll bring Lo-Fi Girl back up here if you guys want to stick around and listen to the beats.